everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to our enrichment series. Today we are going to be talking about physical and sensory enrichment. I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds to log in. Tell me that you're here. Say hi down in the chat. I'd love it if you guys could tell me that you're here, what you know of maybe physical or sensory enrichment, and yeah, if you have any questions, that would be awesome. So I'll just give you guys just a quick sec. Also give myself a second to compose my thoughts, which I should have done sooner, but you know, other jobs crazy. All right. So I guess we will start talking about physical enrichment. So physical enrichment, again, seems pretty obvious as to what it is. It's the way that our dogs move and kind of how they let out those kind of natural instincts through movement. So walking, obviously, is physical enrichment. Agility is physical enrichment. But it can go quite beyond that. So something like digging is physical enrichment, right? So it's using those, like our dogs' bodies were built for it. A lot of them, like dachshunds and stuff, their bodies were built so that they could kind of like lay on their chest and paddle that, the dirt and stuff off to the side. So that's a really natural movement for them to do. Just trying to think of some other breeds that dig a lot. Terriers and stuff like that. They're really good at kind of like planting on their back legs and just kind of going to town with it. So that's really good for their muscles. I'm not as proficient or as familiar with the canine body as some of you guys are, like Erin especially. So she would be able to tell you more about the really scientific ways of it. But I think it's pretty obvious to us that the physical enrichment is important to our dogs. And sorry, coming back to what I was saying, just because you need to give your dog physical enrichment doesn't mean you need to have them in top athletic shape like an agility dog or a dock diving dog or anything for that matter. Going on simple walks is an awesome physical enrichment activity. So is doing some fitness exercises. So working on your dog's backing up, working on puppy push-ups. So sit down to stand. So that motion works pretty much their entire body and is really awesome for keeping them in shape. Keeping that physical enrichment goes along with not having them being obese. I really don't like talking about this one because I myself am not in the best shape, but I do find it really heartbreaking seeing a lot of these dogs that they don't really have the choice. They have someone that feeds them and controls their exercise. So when they're in really bad shape, that they're 5 years old and it's really hard for them to walk, it's super heartbreaking to see because their lifespan is much shorter than ours. And generally they are much more active than us. So it's really tough to see when a dog is overweight, and you really see it as they get older, you know, standing up, they're really stiff and sore and moving. And there is a component of that is just, you know, aging. I mean, again, I shouldn't really say this because I'm not very old, but, you know, it gets harder for us to do things as we get older. So obviously it will for our pets. So we need to be gentle with them. But if you keep them in moderately good shape and, you know, move it or lose it, right? If you are consistently doing these activities, you will see a huge difference as they age in their mobility. A dog that is used to going on couple hour hikes or whatever a couple times a week is going to look much different than a dog that maybe only does 10-minute walks a couple days a week, like 2 or something. It's going to look a lot different when it's older on its ability to move. So physical enrichment activities, like we mentioned last time, that would be something like swimming. Again, it has to be totally up to your dog. So swimming. Digging is another one. My little Frenchie, he loves to dig. He was just getting in trouble from his grandma for him digging in her tulip garden. So my cousin had actually messaged me over the weekend and said, like, my dog's driving me crazy. He's digging in my mom's yard. Like, I don't really know what to do. And my first suggestion is set him up a digging area of his own. Hide treats in there, hide toys or something that he can dig and find, and really encourage him to dig in that area, because it is a great enrichment activity. It's also a great sensory enrichment activity. So we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. So swimming, digging, walking, training. So that's where I said like the conditioning, like the puppy push-ups. Rally is a pretty good one and keeps them in fairly good shape. Even nose work, it's getting your dog up and moving around. Again, that's more of like some sensory and cognitive enrichment there. And as we've spoken about before, most enrichments are kind of intertwined. I said swimming, but the dock diving is part of that, right? They're running and jumping. What else? Sorry, my brain just went blank for a second. Playing tug of war, playing fetch, playing with a flirt pole. All of these things are really great activities, but you have to make sure you monitor your dog. You don't want to do it when your dog is too young and end up hurting them when they're older. As well as if your dog's not in awesome shape, you don't want to go right to doing full-on dock diving, right? You need to start slow, condition them, and make sure that they're doing exercise at the appropriate level for them. So yeah, I don't totally know what to say about physical enrichment. There's obviously a lot of things, but I'm sure it's not very hard for you to figure out. But I just kind of really want you guys to remember of meeting your dog where they're at, keeping them moving, even if it's not like super hardcore intense training. I know Barb puts Toby on the treadmill. Like sometimes you just do it because your dog needs that so you can actually live. But it's really important for our dogs to get chances to use their muscles, stretch it out, making sure that they're walking on natural surfaces. So a lot of our houses have laminate or linoleum flooring, which can be kind of hard on our dogs' bodies, and the cement as well. So you want to make sure that they get a chance to walk on the grass or the dirt, sand, whatever, those kind of really natural ones that are nicer for their body. So speaking about walking on those natural surface, that'll take us right into our sensory enrichment. So sensory enrichment, a little bit obvious as to what it is, but I'll break it down for you a little bit more. So sensory enrichment is engaging your dog's 5 senses. So that is their taste, touch, smell, taste, touch, smell, hearing, and what am I missing, Barb? Taste, touch, smell, hearing. Let me look at my notes. I'm so sorry.
Jump in and say if you know it. We see some of you are watching.
Yeah. What am I missing? Taste, touch, sight, smell, and
I have no brain.
I know my brain is not working either. Yeah, does someone know what I'm missing? Sorry, the computer's being super slow. Touch, sight, smell. Oh, did I say hearing? Is that the other one? I think that's the other one. I don't remember what I said. All right, so we have taste, touch, sight, smell, and hearing. So we'll kind of break it down and go through each of the tastes. So a lot of our dogs eat the exact same food every day. So sometimes they'll have different treats and stuff, but it goes beyond taste. It's like the textures in their mouth. How do they feel about that? The different combinations. I don't think there is a food that I've offered Bentley that he doesn't like. He actually prefers crunchy things over really soft ones that he can just swallow. So stuff like carrots he really likes, and lettuce and celery, those kinds of things he really likes to crunch on. But then he also likes things that he can then he likes things that he can lick. So something like peanut butter, applesauce, or yogurt is a totally different kind of food than something really soft like that. So that's some ideas for their taste. For touch, so this can be a couple different things. So like we were saying before, that the surfaces that they walk on are a different one, but there's also the way that we touch and interact with them. So massaging your dog, giving them a pet or a scratch in a place that they really like. There's a lot of like T-touch and different types of massage and stuff that you can do with your dog. There are stretches and stuff that you can do with your dog. So obviously I would always do that by through the guidance or like a physiotherapist or whatever. Don't just kind of go and start moving stuff around on your dog. But get to know where your dog likes to be. Most of you probably already do know where your dog likes to be rubbed and stuff versus where they don't. But you can kind of get to know it more. And while you're doing that, you can work on their kind of cognitive enrichment by working on like cooperative care type things. If you can kind of get in the habit of doing that touch type enrichment with your dog, you'll be able to be very aware of like as they get older, they'll get kind of like lumps and bumps. So if you're in the habit of feeling them all over and doing that kind of thing, you'll be very aware of when those lumps and bumps show up, or finding out if they're sore anywhere. All those kinds of things that can be super helpful. As we're coming into tick season, it's really important to me to make sure that you're really aware of what's going on with your dog's body. So sights. A lot of us know that our dogs like different sights. So this can be even turning on the TV for your dog. There's some dogs really like watching the TV. I know Kathy Christina has one, I think it's Wisdom, that absolutely loves the TV. So that's visually enriching for her. My dog likes to watch the birds from the window. Other dogs might like to watch the people passing by. You can take them to a completely different location, and that's going to stimulate all their senses. So they would be walking on a different ground. They would be smelling different things. They would be seeing different things. They would be hearing different things. They'd probably be tasting different things, right? Like we all know our dogs probably hoover up a thing or two that they're not supposed to when we're on a walk. So that's seeing. So hearing, this is a great one. There's a lot of sounds that dogs react to. So I actually haven't watched it yet, but at the Lemonade Conference this year through FDSA, they were talking about music for dogs. And like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm really interested to, because they were talking about the most current science of like music and stuff and how it affects your dog, and is it a yay or nay. So I'm really interested to, and I will try to update you guys as soon as I watch it. But again, having the TV on for your dog, they're going to be hearing something different. Taking them to a dog park and hearing other dogs bark. Taking them to a sports game, hearing all the kids yelling or whatever. Taking them to near a body of water, hearing that wind rushing, hearing the birds chirping, hearing everything going on is all going to be enriching for that dog's brain. Obviously, we talk about scent a lot. So there are really some simple things that you can do, like washing your dog's toys. So again, this goes a little bit to your toy enrichment, but washing your dog's toy makes them smell different, and so it becomes interesting again to your dog. You can store those toys away for a little while with a different dog safe scent. Can't, of course, think of any right off the top of my head, but like there's pet colognes and stuff that you can, pet colognes that you can spray on it that are safe for dogs and stuff that add a totally different element while you're just inside your home. There are dog safe plants that are awesome to grow. So that you could plant in your vegetable garden, or have your dogs, or your dog may have their own little planter bed or something. So those are awesome for your dogs to smell. Stuff like parsley and basil. They can sniff them, they can eat them. That's an awesome sensory thing. Sorry, what were we talking about? Smells. And then that goes along with the foods too. Like you give them different foods to try, they're going to smell them. That's going to be great for their olfactory. If you can try different essential oils that you're working with to do different target odors if you're interested in. It doesn't even have to be an essential oil. It can be something like scent articles. Sorry, totally 180 there. Scent articles. So getting your dog to find your scent, that's a totally different ball game for that too. So I've done taste, touch, sights, smells, and hearing. Have I done all of them? I think I've done all of them. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I'm a bit of a train wreck today. So we talked about physical and sensory enrichment. I think sensory enrichment is really a really big one, but we more think about maybe just like smells versus auditory as well. Again, I know people have deaf dogs, so that one's taken out a little bit, but they can still feel vibrations and stuff like that. So I want you to make sure that you're being well balanced and well rounded with the things that you are doing with your pet. One thing that I would love to see someone do, I've been meaning to do this and take a video of it, but for the auditory enrichment, is teaching your dog to find a sound. So you would do it the same, very similar way that you would do nose work. So you would have your target sound, teach your dog to go to it, have it in a very obvious spot to begin with, reward them at it. You can even put the treats right on it, however you would do that. And then slowly move it farther away and having your dog go and find it, do more and more complicated stuff. So you could do it by hiding your phone with music playing, a walkie-talkie that you have someone else talking into. I haven't totally thought that through of how the best way to do that would be. Maybe your dying home phone. I think most of you still have home phones. So it makes that sound, that kind of thing. My dad has a pager, whatever. But something like that would combine your dog's cognitive enrichment with a sensory enrichment by them having to think and figure it out, while also engaging that hearing, because dogs have excellent hearing, but sometimes that's a bit of an overlooked thing because maybe their scent one's out. Nose one's out? Oh my goodness. So let me just think of some other things to do. I had a bunch of them, and of course now they are totally gone. Teaching your dogs to put their paws up on stuff. So parkour, that is an awesome physical enrichment thing. Your dog learns great balance. It's super fun. It's a very rewarding and rewarding and confidence building exercise to have them putting 2 feet up on stuff. I don't know if any of you have a Wii Fit anymore, but I was trying to play on ours, and Bentley's like, I'm pretty sure that my 2 feet are supposed to be up on this. And so of course it was like throwing everything off because it was going with my balance. So I actually had to get him his own board that he can put 2 feet up on so that I could do my own thing. So a lot of you have taught your dogs to do that. So that's a great enrichment activity, playing around with different heights of the stuff, playing around with the different textures, like a tree stump versus a fallen log, right? Those are all going to feel different to your dog's feet. Bottom line, take your dogs out, do fun things, and I hope to see you guys here next week. If anyone has any questions, please pop them down into the chat. I want to know how everyone's enrichment bingo is going. If you need a buddy to go on a walk with for your enrichment bingo, let me know. I would love to go on a walk with you if it's not too far. Me and Bentley can go on a walk with you. He's great with other dogs as long as they don't maul him. So it's the long weekend this weekend. So, that might be a good time to do it. All right. No one has any questions? All right. So next week we will be talking about food and toy enrichment. Join us then, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.